try to get this together. All right, here we are. Here we are. We are on both Facebook Live on the Dr. Dawn page and on Instagram Live. So I have accomplished something for 5 days in a row on social media with the background that I have. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy you all have joined me. Do me a favor, drop a hello to me in the comments if you get a chance. If not, that's cool because I know you guys are there. But it's Dr. Dawn again here. I am Chicago's own board certified OBGYN. My mission in life is to empower women with pertinent medical information and proactive reproductive health knowledge that will improve their, hey, Amin, how you doing? Thank you for joining. My goal is to use this information that I give you guys to help optimize your physical and mental health, because I strongly believe if you are physically strong, you will also be mentally strong, and vice versa. They work together. So I really work towards empowering women, teens, young people. Hey, Kelly, thanks for joining me for with knowledge that I have, because I think knowledge is power. If you know more, you do more. So if you have been with me all week, if not, that's cool. But all week I've done a mini course, a challenge, a 5-day challenge, and I had different topics every day. This challenge was based off my book I wrote about 3 years ago. Basically, everything I know as an OBGYN, I put in this book, and it is for teen girls. The name of it is The Clever Girl Life, a Teen Guide to Positive Body Image, Self-Confidence, and Life Happiness. I call it Clever Girl because clever is what I think of my grandmother. She was the original clever, not even girl, clever woman. But she was clever. She was always thinking, always, well-spoken. And that's where this book came from. So if you're interested in learning more about it, you can go on my website, drdawnobgyn.com. But from the book, I decided, since we're all here in COVID land and at home, that I do a challenge based off the book. So I picked 5 topics that I thought were important for us to know about. And please forgive Mr. Apollo. He's talking to his little buddy outside. But so the first topic was, what are the structures of female anatomy? And we talked about internal and external anatomy, because it's important for us as women to know what our body parts are so we can communicate to our doctors, nurses, nurse practitioners, midwives. When we have an issue, we need to be able to talk intelligently about our bodies and relate to them what we think the issue is. Because the real deal is that we learn from you all. You all are telling me for the first time, I'm learning about your body. I know about the body in general, but you have to tell me about your body. So when you know the body parts and you know internally what's happening, then you can better help me help you. So the next topic that we had was, for day 3, we talked about, what is puberty? When does it occur? That one can be kind of anxious for moms, aunties to talk to their daughters about, or their cousins about, just because it is something that really is an outward presentation of the changes that a young girl is going to go through from being a girl to a woman. And the physical attributes to it, there are mental attributes to it. So it's important for us to be able to talk to our young girls about it. And so I have a pamphlet here that went along with day 2. Now, all of this good stuff that I put together, you can download yourself. So you can download and get this information. If you want to go through it with me with these videos, that's cool. But if not, you can go through and download this information. So day 2 was, what is puberty? When does it occur? Day 3 was, what is the menstrual cycle? All right. So again, I went through stages of the menstrual cycle, what's happening, what you can anticipate happening, symptoms that you may notice during that time. So good information to know, because this helps you even as a grown person, you know what to anticipate, especially when we are working towards getting pregnant. It's good to know different stages of the menstrual cycle. So if you're interested in getting this information, I have my ticker going, Dr. Dawn OBGYN Clever Girl 5-Day. That is where you can get this information downloaded. It will go straight to your email. So that was day 3. Day 4 was what is healthy self-esteem? What is healthy self-esteem? And so a lot of people may say, well, why are you talking about self-esteem if you're a GYN doctor? I learned a long time ago that how a girl feels about herself is going to dictate the care that she's going to take for herself. And as a girl, as a woman, as a person who's taking care of families and all of those things, we have to take care of ourselves first. And we have to feel good about ourselves in order to take the steps that we need to take to get into the doctor's office or ask questions or, make sure that we do the things that we need to do, get our rest, make sure we're eating healthy, make sure we're not doing some of the things that we know are not as good for us, make sure we're getting our exercise. All those things are predicated on us feeling good about ourselves. So as women, we have to help our girls to foster that self-esteem within themselves. Sometimes they have it naturally, and that's wonderful. Sometimes they need a little help, and it's on us to really try to make sure that happens for our girls. So the last day is kind of an outshoot of that self-esteem, and it's a big topic for me. And this one is, how do I foster positive body image? How do I foster positive body image? And that one is very, very important. Just because there's so many influences that young girls get from a very early age about their bodies for different reasons. There's a big influence on, or there's a big need for us as women to help girls feel good about their bodies, and also for them to learn not to overly sexualize themselves. I have nothing against sex. I think it's appropriate for appropriate time in a woman's life, but we have to make sure that we are helping our girls understand themselves as beings in a physical body and not necessarily overly sexualize them for what their bodies will become and what they will look like after they hit 12 and 13 years old. So in my little pamphlet, I like to go and get different definitions and kind of go through it with you. So for positive body image, I have a person with a positive body image has a true and clear perception of their body shape and appearance that other people would agree with. The person is happy about the way they look and they accept and feel good about their body and their appearance, even if it does not match what the media, family, friends suggest is desirable. And to me, that is key. That is key. Social media, television, even friends and families, they will put on us what they think we should be. They will let us know our first idea of what is beautiful is going to come from our parents, from our cousins, from our friends, from people who are around us. And certain characteristics can be really valued and other characteristics may not. Certain body parts, how your hair looks, your skin tone, all those things come into play in how we let our young girls know whether they're acceptable or not. And I know for myself, as a 70s baby, light skin was in. That was it. Light skinned brother was in, light skin, curly hair. That was the epitome. And that was just a reflection of society at large. As an African American, there were blacks and then there were non-blacks and for whatever reasons, just because of the result of how this country was started, there was a difference in how standards of beauty were put in place. And oftentimes, African American women were not the people who were seen as beautiful. And that kind of manifests itself in the community itself, where those who look closer to non-Black were seen as more beautiful. I think we're doing a really, really good job as we've progressed from that to see different standards of beauty and to really embrace that. And I think it's on us to continue that and make sure that we're letting girls know. And I'm a Black woman, so I'm gonna speak from a Black woman's perspective, but I'm not speaking only for Black women because there are social norms that are in place for society at large. So Black, white, Native American, Latina, there are always norms of beauty that somebody is not going to fit into. We're talking about body image. Let's talk about weight issues. Let's talk about how we look at people who are seen as overweight versus people who are seen as thin. There's always been a preference, if you look at TV, if you look at videos, for a certain aesthetic to be in place. And we have to really make sure that we're working with our girls and letting them know, hey, Rhonda, thank you for joining, letting them know that, you know what, that is not necessarily reality. This television show or this movie or what's going on in social media is largely pushed by money. You know, we want to sell a certain image because we know that image will sell a certain product. So whether we want to admit it or not, we put certain images in place because those images are associated with certain products that we are trying to sell, or that society at large is trying to sell. So whether it be a car, whether it be, you know, certain type of clothing, whether it be a house in a certain neighborhood, they are creating an image that they put in place so that you will buy into, literally with your dollars, you'll buy into that image. And you will work yourself into a frenzy trying to fit into that image they have created because they want you to spend money on a certain product. Now, that's what's happening. And we just have to be conscious enough and be aware enough of our own, you know, who we are, our own heritage, our own culture, and learn how to place value in things that are outside of the physical body. And I'll go into that a little bit later. So they are aware, people who have positive body image are aware that how they look is not their personality. They are proud of the way they look and they feel confident in their body. So again, we have to make sure that we're not confusing a certain look with a certain personality or certain character traits. You know, honesty, integrity, things like that, those come in all different body shapes. And as you get older, you find that those traits are more important than how a person is looking. And we have to share that with our young girls so they are not making decisions based on superficial reasons. So a healthy lifestyle with a balanced diet and exercise can contribute to a positive body image. So why is a healthy lifestyle going to help us with that? It's going to help us with that because we're going to see our bodies as strong, as being able to perform. You know, if you're on a softball team and you're able to throw the ball and strike somebody out, then you're confident in your ability to do something with your body. You're not as concerned with necessarily, we'll be honest, we always want to look the best we can, but we also can hang our hat on our bodies being strong and our bodies being able to accomplish a goal. So if you like to run and you're able to run a marathon or even, you know, make it 3 miles, that helps you to be confident and secure in your body because you are happy with what it is actually doing for you. And that will play a part in how you feel about yourself. So, part of having a positive body image is the ability to separate how we value ourselves from how we look. People who realize that self-worth is not linked to appearance tend to feel good about how they look because they don't hang their hat on it, right? They're not, you know, stuck on, oh, I gotta look this way. I gotta, you know, make sure my hair is looking this way. Otherwise, I'm not important. I'll share with you all a time that I had. I was at a funeral with a friend, and my friend was sitting next to me here, and a lady that I didn't know was sitting next to me. And we were doing the funeral. It was getting pretty heavy. We were talking about our common friend, and my friend was really upset and sad and started crying. So I put my arm around her and just kind of held her for a little bit. And a woman next to me, same thing. She was really having a, you know, being challenged with what was being going on, and it was really a sad moment. I put my arm around her too, and it just hit me. It's like your body is there to help somebody else. My arms were around those 2 women, and they didn't care whether it was flabby, whether it was firm, whether I was in shape. All they needed was a hug. They needed to be comforted. They needed someone to kind of hold them and help them get through whatever they were going through at that moment. And that's what we have to recognize within ourselves. You know, sometimes you need to be there physically just for a hug or just for a smile or just, you know, what you can say to somebody. As a physician, I know that how I approach my patient and how I talk to them and whether I'm making them feel comfortable with what they're saying, that's important. And that means how I'm looking at them. That means the tone that I'm taking with them. That means, laughing with them and making them feel comfortable. Those are things that have nothing to do with what your clothing you wear and whether you are tip top shape or whether your makeup is perfect. That is you emphasizing with somebody, showing empathy with a person and showing that you care. And those are the things that are important that we share with one another. And that is what we have to let our girls know that we need to do. I'm not saying we don't want to be in shape and we don't want to be healthy, but we don't want to make our worth as a person be dependent on how we look. So, with my workbook I have here, body image is how you see yourself when you look in the mirror, or how you picture yourself in the mind. So it's important for us to try to mentally know, hey, I might have a zit on my nose today, but I still look good, and that's what you mentally have to believe about yourself. And that will, make it so that somebody might notice the bump, but they notice you as a person more important. So they don't focus on it because you're not focused on it. Positive image is a clear idea of your body shape, which you appreciate, accept, and celebrate. So self-acceptance, that doesn't mean that you don't want to improve something. That means, hey, I'm accepting myself as I am. I'm going to work on that, but today I'm good. With the positive body image, you have the basic comfort and confidence in your body. With negative body image, you have a distorted image of your body shape and a unrealistic perception of a certain body part. So we've seen that, especially as women. We've seen ladies that are in the bathroom and they're like, oh my goodness, this such and such looks crazy. Oh, what's happening? I can't go back out because XYZ looks crazy. And you kind of look at it, I'm like, no, you look fine to me. That looks fine. People who have a poor body image, they overemphasize certain things and they make it be so negative when that's not necessarily the case, but that's what they have in their head. So we have to work with our girls and talk to our girls and let them know and try to change the dialogue that they're telling themselves, because it's often the dialogue that we tell ourselves that get us in trouble. So it's important for us to know our body is a unique part of who we are, and it's something that we should take pride in, that there's no other person on the planet who is exactly like you. And that in of itself should make you feel proud of representing that person to the world. So the last thing I have here, 7 things we can do to foster positive body image in our young girls that are in our lives. 1 is help her to celebrate what her body can do: running, swimming, dancing, singing, so on. 2 is have a list of 10 things she likes about herself and have her pin it up where she can see it. So sometimes we have to work with our girls, and 10 might be a lot for them. So maybe we'll start with 5 and then we'll, come back to it and do 5 more till we can get up to 10. But the goal is to, hey, I want you to focus on 10 things that you like about your body and about your, what you have to offer. And we're going to focus on that. 3 is remind her that beauty is not just about appearance. It is not just about appearance. How we have people feeling when they're in our presence, what we bring to the table, how we help people to feel when they're going through something. Are we happy for a person when they have a happy moment? Things like that. Those things are important, and that's what we need to help our girls to focus on. So 4, I have instruct our girls or help our girls to see themselves in the mirror as a whole person, not just a nose or a thigh. So that goes back to we're in that restaurant at the, restaurant and someone's really, oh, this zit on my nose is looking crazy. Well, you're more than just your nose. Okay, you have a pimple on your nose, but you have a really nice outfit on, or those shoes are slamming. So why don't we look at the whole picture and see overall, you're really looking nice today. And that one little small aspect that you're griping on is not as important as you think it is. Number 5, teach her to think positive. Overpower negative messages with positive ones by using affirmations and denials. And I will admit that's something that I use a lot, and you'd really be surprised at how beneficial it is. It's almost like you're kind of rewriting what that dialogue is in your head. So when you say these affirmations and you say these denials and you say them to yourself, morning and night, wake up in the morning, go to bed at night, maybe once or twice in the daytime. You keep saying those things, you actually believe them because they become second nature to you. That is just a part of how you think because you have said this to yourself so many times. And that's important because a lot of times it's the dialogue that we tell ourselves that gets us into trouble and causes us to think poorly about ourselves. So it's up to us to change that dialogue and to start those affirmations, positive affirmations that will help you rewrite the book that you're saying to yourself. So number 6, I have ban her from using fat talk and encourage her friends to do the same. That's just because I'm gonna tell you, I see a whole bunch of ladies in my office, or used to. I don't see them in the office as much now, but even Apollo is upset over this. But ladies are always hyping on how fat they are, and it doesn't have anything to do how their weight. Like I've had ladies that are 140 pounds, 120 pounds. They might be 200 pounds, but they're 6 foot, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so fat." Really? Okay. So let's say you're a little fluffy or you're a little, chubby. Okay, what does that mean? Does that mean you're a bad person? Does that mean that, that you don't have anything to contribute to the world? No, it doesn't. And we have to stop focusing on weight and making that what we put our worth in. If you want to lose weight, then really get on the weight plan and get that going. But if you're not really to do the work, you might have to be a little chubby and say, I'm a little chubby, but I'm okay because I'm not willing to run 30 minutes a day. Because that's what it comes down to. If you want to lose weight, get in a workout plan, watch what you eat, and you can do that. But don't make your worth as a person be dependent on what that scale tells you. And finally, I have take her to do something nice for her body, like a facial or massage, getting her nails done, getting a pedicure. That way you're focusing on how you feel at that moment. I enjoy pedicures, I enjoy massages. And at that moment, you feel really good because you feel like somebody has put into in helping that body feel good. And so that's why we have to do it on a regular basis to kind of celebrate our bodies and help us to remember how important they are. So that is it for today. Again, those are just thoughts that I have on body positivity. And that is the end of the challenge. I thank you all for joining me this week. Hey, Dr. Kanisha, thanks for joining me. I thank you all for joining me this week. I will have something else in store for you for the next couple of weeks, but do follow me. I am on Instagram. I am on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on YouTube. These videos are on YouTube and they're also on my Dr. Dawn Facebook page, so you can come back and look at that. And they will, you will also still have access to this information. I make a worksheet to go with every topic that I did. So if you go to Dr. Dawn OBGYN / Clever Girl 5-Day, you will be able to get this information sent to your email. And that's even after this challenge is over. So thank you again for joining me. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for joining me. And be sure to follow me on Thursdays, 12:30. I usually have a topic that I will discuss. So I've discussed ovarian cysts, I've discussed fibroids, I've discussed vaginal discharge. Most of the times, ladies will just drop me a line. A lot of my friends will call me, or, I have somebody hit me up in Messenger and just say, hey, could you give me some insight on X, Y, Z? So if you have a topic that you are interested in learning more about, let me know and put in my Messenger. I will be able to address it as long as you get it to me in time. Again, I usually do those 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Times on Thursdays. So I will see you next Thursday with a topic that I have not chosen yet, but I'll have it by Monday. And make sure you're following me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And have a wonderful day. Thank you. I'm going to bed. I'm so tired.